Good morning, Edie. Okay. I don't know if you've ever seen my hair lately. For you, for some reason, it's down, but usually I like to 5 and 9 my hair. 5 and 9, 9 and 5, ein, 9, 9, 5, Stein. We speak, wie ein Stein. We speak 5 and 9 in a regular voice, but 5 is 9 and 9 is 5. But Einstein, he discovered the Big Bang, and the Big Bang Theory has been rediscovered. If you've seen any of my tapes lately, I have rediscovered and understand how space and time now works and travels throughout the space of time and the time of space. With the Spirit Connect, the two lines that come across each other every so often. But if the third line, Spirit, does not come by and create the X through the X, you never get the hourglass, and therefore you never make the triangle, and you never make the David of the Magen. The Magen David, the David and the goal, he lieth upon the timeline and the space line, and the goal is the God, and the God is big and large, and he is great. He is the Goliath of the David. It's the David and the Goliath. The fight is the space, and the space that we fought was with God, and God and Goliath. The God not lieth, but he lieth upon the state of the space. The one world order is not here, because anything that's one world order has closed space off on everybody else and has taken it away. And that is what our good Lord has done. He has closed space as we travel through space, grinding out the other planets and the other territories of other spaces, where we pick up the ingredients we need to live in our universe. And our planets act like storage compartments where they store whatever they need in order to have Earth life. Einstein, 5 and 9. Einstein. I'm not Einstein, but I like him, and I like my hair, and I like my talus. The lines go by, and they don't go across, because we don't want to put a cross on this. Because putting a cross on this is crossing out everything God has made for us. He uses these lines to cover the time and to cover the S, snake. The snake, the S, the snake of space. Because when you have the S of space, the lines of time create a cross, the letter T of time. You put two, you have an X, you have a pyramid. Therefore, God gathers space, and he takes us into the monopoly game where we need the utilities and the waterworks, and we also need the train tracks to go through the space, and we need the two where we have Boardwalk and Park Place for beta. They're blue. Blue is for the female creator. We have the red next to it. That's for the Spirit of God 3, for the command and the beta create. Then we have 2 and 3. How many 2s and 3s we have around the board? What are the names of them? And you'll understand more of what's in space. If you have free parking, you have free space. So therefore, if the space is free, God is out there for us to conquer space. We also have the jail and the go to jail. Well, it's pretty simple. If you're taking somebody else's space that belongs to our Lord and nobody else, like us and the angels, USA, us and the angels, trying to take everybody's space away so they get everything they want for their utilities, and then using us as a backup? No, there's no rushing around here, because if you're rushing too quick, you're going to lose the space and lose the time and lose everything else. The germination, the ger of many men that came together to fight against the other one because they just wanted it all, and all men, or the O-men, or the all-men, or the cinnamon girl. Sin, to make a sin of omen, cinnamon. Cinnamon girl, cinnamon on the apple is a heart. The heart is our life. Oh, cinnamon girl, this is our world. You see, Earth is not the only place I believe there's life. There's life in spaces that may not have man on it. You see, in order for the stem cell to work, okay, it had to be understood before it was really discovered. God made the stem cell work. He made a bubble like an egg, just like inside of the man and woman, or inside the woman. You see, in all actuality, what it is the sperm goes out as the spirit. It traps the egg, or the O. It creates, makes a box around the space, or a triangle, and that's you. Double U, W, the U of V, the UV ray, that's us. Ray is my sun. Ray is the sunshine. The sons of God are the suns in the other places of space and time. S-O-N, S-U-N. Why do we have the black holes? Well, the sun is burning holes everywhere because the universe, as I said 6 months ago, is being picked up. We're on a train. There's 4 tracks. It goes around the Monopoly board, so therefore there's got to be a minimum of 4 worlds that are close to ours that travel with us. So we change the track 4 times. 4 by 4 is 16. 1 and 6 is 7 is God. 6 by 1 is 6, and 6 and 1 is 7. 13, you have man and God. But at 13, a boy's bar mitzvah, the 1 dot and the ace are in the same position, counting the ace as 11, counting the God as 6, because he is the God of all. 6 and 11 is 17, we stand. Then the boy's bar mitzvah, ace and 3 make 14. Turn the 4 sideways, you got a jack. Take the ace 1 dot and replace it. Take the 1 dot that looks like an ace that's 1 dot is 11. You now have an ace and jack. You have blackjack, O God, our Lord, who always totals up to 21, because 7 by 3, and 3 is creation, and 7 is our God for the 7 passages. You see, when you go east-west or north-south, you close down 2 passages, because if you don't close down the 2 passages, how can you come from the south if the south is closed down? And how can you go to the north? So you open up positions, let's say 2 and 8, or 3 and 7, or 1 and 9, and you go, therefore leaving 7 more spaces on the dice. 7 spaces on the dice of 9, 7 times 9 is 63. 6 is man and 3 is creation. 63 are the number of moons on the planet, the Jew, the pi, and the tear. That's us. The Je is the Jew, J-E. The pi is God. The 16th letter, 1 and 6 is 7. And the tear is the earth, Mother Earth. What do you have? Jew, Je, 15, pi, 17, 32, and tear, to tear something apart. To tear the edge off of this is tearing away space and time. We have all the results are in, and we wear the results all the time. This is for the 45-degree rain that falls onto our lands. Why? Because when we hold it a little higher and you tilt it a little bit this way, a little bit this way, this is our roof. For the incoming debris from outside the universe, God has put a cap on top of us, and because the compass points north all the time, there's always a cap in the north, and they move, and they move like that and like that. So there's space in between, the space between us and the sun. Well, that space is so this kippah doesn't bend, okay? The space and time. We have a cap on our head, and 2012 is coming quick, and the end of this year is coming quick, and 2015 will come even quicker. The final day of arrival, of the way I understand it, is September 23rd, 2015. Tishrei is in the October, and I'm not sure if the 23rd falls on a Tishrei. It's Yom Kippur. It's 1 week after Rosh Hashanah. Anyways, I don't want to get into any dates and time. I'm going to calm down. I have to go to work. I've been going to work and writing 15 hours a day. Da Vinci Code, picture of the Da Vinci, Jesus, the Last Supper. I calculated that whole thing took me about 10 pages to write it out. Just remember one thing. Without the cross, you cannot box in the timeline without that cross. Okay? I don't care who discovered it, who made it. The only thing that's wrong about the whole thing is they changed from Judaism to Christianity, and there's a reason for it, and the name says it all in its name, but I'm not going to get there right now. I'm just going to tell you one thing. The cross supports the Magen David on the inside so it doesn't collapse. But when it does need to collapse, the inside, where the cross goes, turns. That way the Magen David can fold. Then it can become a straight arrow like a spirit and close in on space, open up again, and then extend itself from each point, closing down time, making time on our side instead of on the other side. Edie, I just made this for you. I might make it live. I don't know. I haven't been getting very many hits. But the winds we are having, the big storms we're going to have this summer, this is going to be 1969 plus. There's going to be crazy temperatures. It has begun. It has begun in 1999, the same as the song that came on in 1999. That song, 1999, well, in 1998 it ended the old cycle. I calculated that the Mayan calendar and our calendar, the way they work theirs and the way we work ours, it's coming up to 20 days now of separation. 2 is Beta. It's the other world. Now we have the 2 worlds connecting, 2 and 0. 0 is Zion. It's either the Zion that we live on the earth as man, or it's the Zion of the heavens of God, who owns all total space that he has cut through like a knife. Any song you want to listen to is an explanation of how God trapped this world and trapped the space and put us inside as his son, because he didn't want a wooden boy anymore. Geppetto is a man who builds puppets, wooden puppets, so he can lure, so he can attract the children to come to his house to play, because Geppetto, look it up, G-H or G or J, or whichever way you want to say it, it's a pedophile. God gave us, Jack Horner. Little Jack Horner sat in his corner eating his turds away. Is that what it is? For some reason I keep mixing up the little spider. But he shoved his thumb in the pie, and he pulled out a plum. Well, that plum is our world. Jack Horner, pulled out that plum to save us, because what's happening now is around our space, it's collapsing. But before it starts to collapse, or when it does collapse, everything falls on our head. The reason it's collapsing is because when God took our universe and traveled through space, he left sunspots. The sun burnt a hole everywhere outside space. That's why we can go through the black hole and end up back where we started, because that's what happens. It's a hot and a cold. It's a black and a white. It's the pool ball, and the white ball is the sun. So it's a suction, because cold and heat, they suck each other. You know what I'm saying? Now you got the black guy and the white girl or whatever, but anyway. So the sun is burning spots in the sky, and that's why they keep coming up with these black holes. I don't know how it works. I just know it does work, and I just know it is true. And Jupiter, that's the headmaster of the train. Because beside Jupiter, you have Mars and Earth and Venus and Mercury. And on the other side of Jupiter, you have Saturn, Uranus, the 7th planet against the 3rd planet, a total of 10, your ass, man's ass. That's the planet that travels on the train next to us. You see, we're 2 cars deep. Two. What do you think that's all about? 40 blasts, 22 8. 8 is the heavens. 100 blasts, we have made the cycle of the rotation of outside space. 2 trains at a time. Boxcars, as they called it in Auschwitz. And the last one, 222, we have Jupiter first. We have Pluto at the end with the sun. See, when Pluto the dog, came along, he was at the end of the track. And his track seems to be crossing on Neptune. Why? Because he's at the end, and he's at the end of the universe, and the universe is really so close to him, it looks like they're touching. So I'm not really sure if Pluto is in our universe or in the next universe that's adjacent to ours. Do I think or believe anything that I'm saying? Of course. Fly like an eagle, swim like a fish, but all the food you eat is always on the dish, because God serves it up to us. I just want to tell you one thing. When the fish start swimming the wrong way and the birds start going the wrong way, and you start hearing tunes that are different, sounds of the wind that are different, you know the time has come and getting close. You want to make an investment? I got 2 good places to go, because something's going to happen here, and it's going to cause a reaction of something else, which is going to cause this to go up in value, if there is any value anymore anywhere. You understand what I'm saying? The government will drop all